Lily, that was 3 seconds, not
Yep,
1.
whatever. Quick speed.
Quick speed.
Quick speed.
Quick speed.
Quick speed.
Quick
Oh.
Quick
speed.
speed.
Oh, my
Quick
bad.
speed.
My bad. I forgot I changed it.
Why are you a poly? Why are you 3D?
Why
are
am
you a
I
polygon?
three-dimensional? How
Why
dare
are
I
you-
be
How
three-dimensional?
dare you be 3-dimensional right now?
What's
Where's
Hey everyone, this is Luke.
I streamed Marvel Rivals a while back.
like,
Give me a
where's
second.
your uniform?
You've been waiting to do that to me. You probably didn't tell me on purpose.
No,
We couldn't see
how
it.
would I have seen?
Oh.
I changed mine yesterday when I set up everything.
I changed mine 20 seconds ago.
You could have seen that. You would have been able to check.
I forgot.
Yeah, no, I forgot about checking for others.
I swapped it. I should
Ah,
do it.
Loki, you treacherous
There you go.
cur.
Sorry, that was an illusion. My bad.
Yeah. Me and Luck are reading. I think we said it a few times. Reading Magnus Chase. So Loki's a prominent character in that one. We're having a lot of fun with it. Loki's a fun little guy in that one. He's a fun little guy.
He's a
Yeah,
fun little guy.
I have about 20 chapters left to read, which is completely doable.
I got about 10.
Oh, okay. Also, Pip, greet the mic. Greet the mic.
Dog.
Go on.
Dog.
He's quiet.
Don't be shy.
Pippin. Oof. Oof. Go on, bark. I'll teach you to bark one day.
He's a Pomeranian.
Funny
he
enough,
definitely knows how to bark.
Oh, absolutely. Funny enough, though, with my old dog, he has passed, unfortunately. I taught him to bark on command. Like, literally every time I would do a bark sound, he would bark.
That's like a pretty common command.
To
That's a pretty common one.
It is. Reason I bring it up, though, is because Pippin hasn't latched onto it.
Closest thing my cat does is sometimes we'll have conversations.
Yeah. Wow. And then meows back.
No, I won't. I'll speak to her like a person, and then she'll meow back at me,
okay.
and then I'll speak back to her. I'll be like, yeah, that was a really good point. Like, furthermore,
I do the same exact thing, except he doesn't really respond much.
God, we're both crazy. Welcome to Marvel Mondays.
Woo!
Woo! We got Spider-Man. Okay.
Spider-Man.
Luck, you finally watched Hulk today. Yes. Did you finish it? Did you manage to finish it?
Oh goodness, it was a slog. I didn't finish the entire thing. I basically got up to the facility where he was stored. You remember that part, right?
Yeah.
In the tube?
Yeah, basically back to where I first joined in on. I got there, I was like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. Fuck it, close enough.
Yeah, so me and Quickspeed put that
It was so droll. I was actually looking forward to my work as a reprieve from it.
I feel like you might want to finish that one just because it wasn't until we reached the end that I was actually very confident that that one would be at the bottom of our list, possibly forever.
It got worse. Oh, no.
It got worse.
It does get worse. Like by then I was like, this is definitely really low, and then it went to like, this is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I only bring that up because one, we didn't get your opinion last time because you were missing, and two, this one made it to the top of our list really easily.
Yay.
Spider-Man 2, top of our list right now. I'm just like, right, I can just do that right now, just put it at the top of that list. No one's gonna.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
No objection.
Gonna. That's our number one right now. Let me
Wait, I have one objection. Hey, Marvel Studios, can you like give me some money and I'll say a Marvel Studio movie should be up there? No? Alright. They didn't respond. Put him up.
Yep, okay. I mean, we haven't even done a Marvel Studio movie yet, really.
Oh yeah, shit, we haven't. Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
MCU
we're gonna hit Iron Man and Incredible Hulk soonish, but anyway,
That's the beginning, other than Captain America.
Yeah. So the quote for that one is "Pizza time."
Pizza time.
Pizza time.
Spider-Man 2, 2004. This was I would say in many ways it's a breath of fresh air, but in a lot of ways all this is and all it really had to be was just was just a movie that built upon and improved
Spider-Man
upon
1.
the already very solid
Yeah.
Spider-Man 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Honestly,
means
the
it should have done better than its predecessor.
Which I personally believe it accomplished.
Yeah, I think it did do better than its predecessor. I think its predecessor was like suffered for being an origin movie
Origin.
sometimes. And that the pacing of the 3 acts, we all noticed it was kind of odd, right?
It blitzed.
Very long first act, and then the
It's
second
very
act
fast.
is
Like-
teeny tiny. And then
Yeah,
immediately to
like-
the third act.
Yeah.
Basically, it kind of blitzed through that last part. Though I do want to say this just to compliment it a little, because still a little biased towards it. They did the Uncle Ben death scene pretty well.
Oh, a lot of things in that movie are done really well. Obviously, our review of that is up on the VODs channel. Go check that one out in case you're just starting here. But like this one is like one of the first ones we've come across that I'm like, dang, this is a really good movie. This is a really good movie. You know, not like a cute, not just like a good like indie thing, not just a good little like, you know, fun experience. Like this was a good ass movie with good ass themes and just
Really cool, like,
Yeah.
movie magic behind the scenes too.
a lot of good movie magic. The fact that the tentacles were done mostly with puppetry, only touched up with CG here and there, was really impressive. There were only a few effects shots that I thought were odd. I thought sometimes they used a little too much CGI Spider-Man. I thought they did CGI Spider-Man one too many times, especially for scenes where it did not feel necessary to do CGI Spider-Man. But like I kind of want to dig into it. I kind of want to like do the point for point analysis on this one because I feel like there's a lot of interesting stuff to dig into here. I think this is a case where we have to.
Well, given that Hulk last time was 2 hours and this one was 2 hours and we didn't feel like, it was such a drag. Same time, it still felt like a long movie, but it wasn't unbearable like Hulk at all.
I mean,
Yeah, no, it felt like it flowed very smoothly, the movie, as well as time itself. Because like, it didn't feel like that long, at least me personally.
I think there's like a Roger Ebert quote that is something to that effect of a long movie. No, like a bad movie is always too long, where a good movie just breezes by. Something to that effect.
Well, time flies when you're
Yeah.
having fun. I can imagine a bad movie means you're not having fun.
A bad movie is always longer than it should be.
Is that why the Hulk was 4 hours long?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. So literally first point here that I have on is the opening illustrations, which someone in our group clocked that is being done by Alex Ross. And the opening illustrations are just like watercolor recreations of earlier shots, of shots from the first movie. They're very gorgeous for one, and two, that's honestly a really like interesting creative way to like recap you on the first one, right? Just kind of showing you some images to refresh your brain, put you back in that space, without having to like resort to showing you clips and with just
or heck, even flashing back, heaven forbid.
Yeah. Instead, you see those images. They're beautiful. They're gorgeous. Your
brain does two things. It look pretty and like, oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. They're serving double duty here, and with this we begin with the scene. Oh yeah, also Lucky pointed out that like because these 3 movies, the Spider-Man trilogy here has been memed to death. Your cultural memory of them blends together sometimes.
That has been a major issue, yes.
So, like, it starts off with the pizza sequence, right? I think everyone's seen the pizza sequence, where he has a job as a pizza delivery guy. He has to deliver these pizzas. He's late because he has to save some kids. And he drops the pizzas down. They look smashed to hell. It says pizza time. He says, I'm not paying for that, for good reason. And he gets fired.
Peter,
because he was incredibly late.
It's everything, but to me,
Actually,
it is nothing.
he wasn't incredibly late. I think if you look at the clock, he was like 1 minute late.
Yeah, he was specifically harping on the minute amount of time, and he specifically was like, "We have a 29-minute guarantee. Do it."
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Looking at the clock, he was not very late at all. It was like if he just hadn't saved the kids, he would have been on time. But obviously, he has to save the kids.
Because
it's
he's
the pain of
Spider-Man.
being.
Yeah.
Yep. What was the term? The Parker luck.
Yeah, yeah, the Parker luck. But speaking of that, Spider-Man in this
He's
one,
perpetually broke this entire movie in all ways of life.
oh yeah, he is having a hard time at the beginning of this movie, right? So he gets fired from his job, his grades are slipping, and Doc Connors is on his ass about it. Like his aunt's house is
His
getting foreclosed. And I like MJ is like is
I
dating
want
someone
you there
else.
in my life, dude. Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he is he's not doing very well. It all yeah. There's like
Oh, and also don't forget, Harry is like, Parker, I know we're still kind of friends. Give me the Spider-Man or else.
oh yeah,
Or,
Harry.
as
Yeah,
a friend though.
his and Harry's friendship is splintering because Harry suspects that Peter knows who Spider-Man is. And oh,
And
dog,
isn't
dog,
giving up that
dog,
info.
I heard the dog.
dog.
Dog cameo.
He agrees with me. Uh, yeah.
Actually, that was him trying to say, "Hey, let me out of the room," because I had to take him in here because he was begging too much at the kitchen table.
Nice. Oh yeah, also Peter's rent's overdue. And literally his landlord takes the 20 he got as a gift from his aunt out of his hand before he can
Yeah,
even do anything.
it's
That was
just
like
like, listen, man, this
all
is
the
all I
money he
got.
had for the month, for the week.
Exactly. He was like, "It's all I got for the week." Nope. Now you got nothing.
He's poor, he's struggling,
Can't pay rent.
he is right where Peter Parker should be. he is
The Tumblr
he is
post
in his natural state.
A Tumblr post I quite like was, I think the joke was New York discovers Spider-Man is broke, and they were making a thing like, oh okay, people slowly come to realize it. Like, sure, he gets a free hot dog here and there, but that's people being kind. Until they see him chasing a dollar and being genuinely happy over it, and like, oh, this man's broke.
They're like, oh, oh no. No, he is. And it's oh my gosh. I've been like on a Daredevil kick lately too, with Born Again season 2 wrapping up recently, and
Mhm.
that's a funny contrast too, where it's like, yeah, other heroes got like something going on, like Daredevil, like you know, he's not like a high paid lawyer, but he is a lawyer. He like does well.
Listen,
He has
you
like a
can,
really nice apartment.
even if like 70% of his cases are pro bono, or
Pro boner.
pro bono. Shut up.
No, you said it. No,
Oh
you're
my
the one that said it.
god.
You said pro boner.
This feels like something that'd be animated in Ace
Wait, hold on. I
Attorney.
know exactly how to save this. Happy Pride Month, everyone.
Yay!
Yeah,
Yay!
that's true.
So yes, even though the majority of his stuff is pro bono, he's still living a comfortable life. And you look at Pete.
Look, he's in a New York shoebox. He's in a New York shoebox where the sink is 5 feet away from the bed, is 5 feet away from probably a stove that does not pass any inspection.
Yeah,
And
and
everything's a fire hazard.
Yeah,
no
yeah.
toilet either, or maybe just shower in general.
Yeah,
Because it
it's an
looks like
apartment that's
one of
so
the
bad that I don't think it's legal anymore. Like I think just based off of, like bare minimum what you need to have in an apartment nowadays, I don't think that that flies anymore.
Hmm. I would fully believe that.
Mm. But it's
So yeah, not a good place he's in. Walls are like cracking too. That's definitely not up to code anymore.
yeah, he's having a really rough time, and his work with Jameson is kind of the last thing he has left, and it's not stable for several reasons. One, Jameson is not entirely stable, and two, it's freelance work. You know, he'll sell a photo for $350, but you can only do that so many times a month.
Plus, he's a college student, and we know Aunt May doesn't have the funds to provide that for him.
Yeah, he.
No.
I am willing to believe he got a scholarship, though, so it's probably not that much. He probably just has to pay for textbooks.
But still, it's well, actually, with how his grades are taking with Connors, maybe that would have been the icing on the cake if it
Ooh,
was like
yeah.
his scholarships getting revoked. Icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Honestly, I could definitely see that happening.
I mean, in the comics, canonically, Peter's a college dropout, so
Even better.
yeah. Did you not know that?
Oh,
Here's
I didn't know that.
Here's the
Doesn't
thing.
there?
Here's the thing, like Peter Parker has had a long-lasting tradition of being just constantly struggling and constantly like on the verge of his life collapsing. And that's just like a core part of the character, has been for a long time. This idea that like not just is he not just is he like having issues that a lot of people can relate with as far as just generally struggling in, capitalist America, but also that his balancing his life as Spider-Man and Peter actively makes things dramatically worse, as not only is he already having struggles financially, and being Spider-Man is not really helping with that, but also his personal relationships with people are imploding because he has his secret identity and also a compulsion to help people that tends to make him late to just about everything.
If I remember right, isn't there like multiple instances where things for Peter Parker would be so much better if he gave up Spider-Man, but he
Yes.
always gets pulled back in?
Yes, we'll go through that arc of how that happens, how
Oh
that's shown
yeah,
in this
yeah,
movie
yeah, that is
later
true.
on. But that does happen a lot. Like, all the good adaptations will have a few episodes dedicated to it. Looking at you,
The
Spectacular
one
Spider-Man. Looking at you.
the one question that does come to mind, wasn't there like Parker Industries in like one run or something?
Oh my god,
I know
probably.
Spider-Verse talks about Parker
Oh
Industries.
my god, yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think I've heard something about that.
There's
No,
even
for-
a there's even a
company.
voice line in Marvel Rivals where I think it's Penny Parker and Iron Man have a conversation where her tech's better than Stark,
That's Penny.
and he gets
That's
huh?
That's Penny. Don't worry about Penny. That's Penny.
I mean, it's still Spider-Verse.
But we're doing Peter. Peter's Penny and
Okay,
Peter are
Peter.
completely separate. Penny and Peter are about as separate as Miles and Peter. They you don't yeah. No need to completely different stories, completely different kinds of characters with completely different arcs to them, for sure.
What do you mean? They're all the same character, right? Because
No,
like
shut up.
Peter accidentally killed his uncle.
No, shut up.
Peter has a mech.
Sure.
Shoot. Peter also has access to a hammer he could spawn out of nowhere.
Sure. Okay, let's continue before we go down this fucking rabbit hole. Before we go down the Spider-Verse rabbit hole. As entertaining as I find the Spider-Verse, it's really not relevant to this movie. Not right now.
No, it's not. It's not.
Unfortunately, it will be.
It will be. No,
It
fortunately,
will be.
it will be,
Yeah.
I think. If any,
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
Um, the one moment here that happens with like the whole Peter Spider-Man life balance is that MJ is dating a guy, but she clearly seems like not that into him. You get that feeling pretty much immediately. She likes him because he's stable. He did not like
He's the safe choice.
he did not insult her to her face the same way Harry did, nor did he walk away from her at a funeral the way Peter did. He's normal
And
and
actually
stable and
shows up
has
for
money.
her stuff.
Yeah, and he shows up and he seems nice. It's John Jameson, J. Jonah Jameson's son, the one who tends to have a pretty bad fate in most incarnations. Varying fates, but generally bad. Generally
Yeah.
unfortunate.
I'm not sure like if there's anything worse, but like I know a lot of his fates are death.
Usually becoming a villain and then death.
Ah,
Generally, or like a
Just-
fate worse than death sometimes. Generally John is there to like humanize Jameson. That's generally his purpose, to just be like, yeah, Jameson has a son, he's generally proud of him, he loves him, and then oops, something horrible happens to him. And it's either used to like give Jameson a genuine reason to dislike Spider-Man, or just to just generally humanize him.
Yeah, I think I've mostly heard of it in context of, yeah, that's why Jameson hates Spider-Man. Like, to an irrational level, I should say.
Yeah, yeah. But she invites Peter to a play that she's performing at. MJ is doing quite well, it seems. Her career as a model and an actress has really taken off.
Really taken
She has a
well.
billboard in the city, and she's an important character in a play. Not a Broadway, not a Broadway musical, just a play happening off Broadway, looks like. And
Yeah.
yeah. Peter is late. He's late.
I mean, he almost made it.
He almost
And
made
then there
it.
was a dick.
Yeah, the asshole usher locked him
Wouldn't
out.
even let him stay for intermission.
I know, right?
That, having been to a few Broadway musicals and plays, that's not typical, because people show up late for all sorts of reasons all the time. And if you're gonna lock out a paying customer, they're gonna be pissed. So generally, that's generally no. Generally, yes, you're allowed in if
Yeah,
you're late.
because
That's really not
in
typical.
my experience as well, I've only ever been late once. And they basically are like, all right, yeah, just sit in the back, and then once intermission happens, you could get to your seats properly.
Yeah, that's
And that was
often
like a college
typical.
production.
Yeah, that's often typical. Sometimes they'll just let you come in late, if depending, if it's just
Mhm.
getting started, or like they will just otherwise just have some kind of game plan, because people come from out of town, right? They're not going to be like judgmental towards you if you came from out of town and traffic made you late. Like, you probably spent a good amount of money for these tickets. You probably planned around it. No one would do that to someone, but for the sake of the movie, he's doing that to him right now.
I would also point out, Peter's like walking up. He's like, "Oh, your shoe, sir." He's like, "Oh yeah, thank you, tie shoe." Ah, also your tie. Gotta tighten that. Like, okay,
He
okay.
hypes him up.
You done?
He hypes him up.
Yeah. It's like, all right, you're done. You look good. You put together. Now get out of here.
Yeah. He hypes.
He was so
even
mean.
worse. That was yeah, absolute asshole. And yeah, Peter can't come in, and therefore MJ is, well, feeling pretty
Like,
neglected by him for sure.
because at that point in time, it hasn't just been that; it's been many.
You cut out a little bit there, but I think I understood
Oh,
the.
yeah. She didn't just have the one show he didn't go to. She's had many.
Yeah, and apparently everyone else. She mentions basically everyone else in her life, even her asshole dad, has been to her shows at this point.
Yeah, even Aunt May has gone without
Yeah.
Peter.
I will say this is the one part of of this movie that to me is not always very effective. It's the MJ Peter romance, and what frustrates me is that because this movie was so influential, a lot of future superhero media would kind of use it as a blueprint.
Template.
Yeah. And I think that a lot of the times it I think people sometimes don't understand, and I think even the writers don't understand, that Peter is, in to some extent, in the wrong here for like multiple reasons. Um or if not in the wrong, at the very least coming at it from a bad perspective sometimes. Because, okay, so I got to compare it directly to like what Invincible did with Mark and Amber.
Amber? Yeah.
Yeah, and kind of that shit show, and how people were really angry at Amber,
Reactive.
really reactive, and just being like,
I
"Oh,
haven't seen enough
yes,
Invincible to know.
It was basically just how the
Neither have
plot
I.
here works, more or less, where it's like Mark blows off her dates, is super late, and is constantly not seeing
Abandons
her.
her during
Yeah.
conflicts,
Yeah.
aka when he needs to hero up.
And
Mm.
in the meantime, she is feeling like she figures out that he's invincible, but is also just feeling generally abandoned, by him. Like, she's not getting proper attention. And people said, well, he has to go save the world. Well, he has to go do this and that. Like, can't she understand that? She's not like the most important thing ever right now. And how I always like to counter that is like, okay, do you think that the superhero, for being a superhero, is entitled to a girlfriend? Probably, like, maybe you do, but you're wrong.
No, I get the point you're trying to raise up. It's kind of
Yeah.
like people who
The
have like really dangerous jobs, they're always at risk of potentially like losing their lives and abandoning whatever family they have back at home.
Honestly, I was going to go at this with more of a patriarchal perspective of
Yeah,
the sense of
that's
entitlement.
yeah, that's probably that was more what Luck is saying is more the way I was headed towards it. It's like, do you think that the superhero, for being a superhero, is entitled to a girlfriend? But do you think that the girlfriend is entitled to a boyfriend that can give her the time of day? It's like, yeah, yes to the last one, no to the previous
Well, yes.
one.
Yeah, it's almost like being a superhero gives excuses for not having to indulge foundational blocks of literally what a relationship is.
Basically, yes. It's one of those things where it's like, even if you have the best excuse in the world for why you cannot be there for someone, the fact is that being there for a person is a foundational part to having a good relationship. And so if you cannot do that, then the relationship implodes necessarily. And so I think this is where you get some of these, let's be honest, dweebs who don't really know how relationships work, who see that Peter is doing all the right things, but just literally does not have the time in the day to do all these, to like also have time for her. And it's like, well, that's great. He shouldn't be chasing after her though, if he just straight up does not have time for her. He shouldn't be, that's not how having a girlfriend works. That's, yeah.
I'd say ironically enough, but I guess the term would be fittingly enough, these are likely the very type of people who would complain about women doing that same thing to them of like, oh no, none of them are there for me.
Always spends all her time with her friends, with the gals, never has any time for me. It's like, yeah. It's
Male
that
insecurity.
is male insecurity. And Peter does show off
Mhm.
some actual male insecurity later on, when he at one point like desperately begs to have her back in a way that's so uncomfortable.
I was cringing, and I'm pretty sure that was the point of the scene. So good job, Sam.
Yeah, let's
Because
skip ahead a little bit, I guess.
Ooh.
yeah, we could skip ahead
skip
because
back.
this is kind of some of the Peter arc.
Yeah. So
Because like there was. Oh, go on. Set the scene.
This movie is going through the whole Spider-Man Quits arc. Very famous one in the comics, made even more famous because this movie was like the most popular Spider-Man movie ever, basically.
And it has the panel.
It has the panel. It has the one panel with the suit in the trash can that everyone recreates, annoyingly sometimes. And this movie has him quit being Spider-Man. He gets his life together for a bit. There's like a big relief after the stress of the early part of the movie. Big relief comes with this, and he starts like,
and he has spider dysfunction.
Yes.
His power don't work good.
Yes. I see what you were trying to do there. You kind of fumbled it, but I understand the intent.
I fumbled the sentiments there.
Yeah. He brings his life back together a little bit. Seems to be doing really well, and he goes to talk to MJ. He actually is there to see the play for once. Actually manages to be there.
Yeah, then they're doing a walk and talk, and she's like, you know what? You were there. I wasn't expecting that. It tripped me up a little on stage too, and all that.
And then he says, give me a chance. Give me a chance.
Please, leave your fiance.
And this woman is engaged.
She's getting married, and in a way, it's almost like he's implying, like, don't get married to her, get married to him.
Not implying.
I mean, like, it's when she first dropped the bomb, there was just this awkward like tension of like he's gonna say that, and then he did.
Yeah.
And double downed on it.
It was just one of those. I'm reminded sometimes when people say that Tobey Maguire's Peter was not always the best. He's a bit of a man-child sometimes, isn't he?
Yeah.
You really can
I'd say
be.
a bit, but I mean it's not a bit. It's quite blatant.
Quite blatant. Most like really like this is the worst part of the movie. This is why this movie is not a 10 out of 10 in my eyes.
Mhm.
But it is still very, very strong. Um and a lot of that has to do with the arc that happens between all that. The whole arc of Peter like quitting as Spider-Man and then coming back around to it is really effective. Oh yeah, and also Otto Octavius is there. I feel like if there's something we're probably going to neglect to talk
Hey,
about, it's going to be Otto Octavius. It's going to be Doc Ock.
yeah.
Cock.
Yeah, he didn't really
yeah.
have as much personal stakes against Peter.
The movie needed to have a villain so they could have a fight at the end, and he was just
Mhm.
the
But
one
it
that
didn't
they
feel like
picked.
yeah, it didn't feel like the main thing though. Like there was a lot in
No.
this movie and it
No.
almost felt like an
No,
afterthought for the end.
No, no.
it was mostly a lot of the more personal relation stuff.
First and
Yeah.
foremost, this was meant to adapt the Spider-Man Quits arc, and any attachment with Doc Ock was almost incidental. Yeah. Because again, they just needed a villain to fill that slot. I understand that a movie all about just Spider-Man quitting probably wouldn't have been as good or
Wouldn't
wouldn't
have been
have
as
done as
exciting.
well. Yeah, would have
Yeah,
been missing
especially with the
something.
tone they've been setting.
Yeah. Would have been missing a little something. And that something would have been
Mhm.
fun comic book nonsense. Doc Ock provided a good reprieve from the otherwise kind of heavy plot going on, because it is quite depressing sometimes, Peter's whole arc of kind of being broken down by life at the beginning, and then being a bit of a man-child to MJ, who's like
Yeah, because like
doing decently
honestly,
well for herself.
I was kind of just thinking like, you know what, Peter, good on you reconnecting. Peter, no, all you needed to say was I'm making improvements in my life and I just wanted you there as a friend. You didn't need to try asking for her back.
I'm gonna say this movie is why a lot of future adaptations rip off the band-aid of her finding out she's Spider-Man like really fast, because it's fucking
Trans
annoying.
Peter?
Like, huh?
Yeah, it's emotional
You said
whiplash.
she's Spider-Man,
Oh,
so I made the joke
oh
Trans
fuck.
Peter.
Oh fuck. No, trans mask Peter, obviously. But
Oh, of course.
like no.
Lily,
Mm?
dead gendering? On Pride Month?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Fuck, I did it. Oh my god. No. It's on me. No, see, dead gendering. That's not even
I
a
don't know
fucking
the
word.
technical
Not even a
term.
fucking word.
I don't know, it took the concept of dead naming and applied it to gendering.
Not how that works. Misgendering. You misgendering
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's the term.
is the
Okay.
term.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah. Where the fuck even was I? Oh yeah. There's a reason why they rip off the band-aid of her finding out that Peter's Spider-Man, like pretty early on, typically, like nowadays. Because all this waffling around shit is really annoying, and I think most people realize that, like, yeah, if they're gonna have a decent relationship where Peter isn't a complete dick to her, and we're just like just being honest about
Kind
it.
of fast tracking the uncomfortable parts.
Yeah, because honestly, you find out like typically once MJ knows that Peter is Spider-Man, she becomes entirely ride or die about this whole thing. She is, if anything, like very excited and very
To ride or
happy
die.
very excited, very happy to like be there to support him, and yeah, like once she knows what's going on there, like she can still be salty when he's late, can be salty if she's feeling that she's being neglected, but she's also, understanding. She's also a little bit of a freak, so it's kind of exciting to her.
Side note, I just want to give a shout out to no sense of self-preservation Lois Lane.
Oh yeah, we love how both Lois Lane and MJ are just kind of freaks. We like that about them. They are.
It's so funny just seeing them operate like, yeah, no, I'll be fine. I got this. This is dangerous and
I
exciting.
mean, I'm down for any tropes that's any different from the whole like innocent purist route.
Listen, if you've seen Megamind, you know that sometimes getting rescued by your boyfriend and getting tied up is also a date. Sometimes that's also a date.
Sometimes rescuing is a date.
Sometimes rescuing is a date.
Is this what Bowser and Princess Peach are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost.
It's also what Luigi and Bowser are.
There we go.
Yeah. Um.
Oh,
Hmm?
you know what? I was gonna say something that's gonna be too tangential. Moving on.
Yeah. Yeah. What she knows, they're ride or die, and that always fixes them in a lot of ways. I mean, like, I think I'll actually have some words about when we get to the MCU Spider-Man, because that one also fumbles the MJ Spider-Man relationship in some different ways, despite the fact that it starts off in a much stronger place. With much stronger chemistry between them. The issue is that No Way Home kind of does a sexism, but that's that movie, and we'll get to that like in probably a year or two, at the rate we're going.
I can't wait to discover the sexism.
Man, there's like an arc to this one though, right? So like Peter suffering meets Otto Octavius, who seems to actually understand him a little bit. And he has these little peaks of like understanding, little peaks of times where it's like where he really doesn't.
Mhm.
Like if I'll describe it, right? So like I wish you could see my face, so you can see the hand motion I'm doing, right? Starts off really low, meets Otto,
Yeah.
and then shit goes down with Otto, goes really really low after that, right? Everything with MJ is going wrong, his life is still falling apart, and then loses his Spider-Man powers, right? Then things shoot up
Yeah.
for him after that, right? Doing in a really good place for a while, like happy music is playing, he's wearing a white shirt versus the
He
evil
eats a
fucked
hot
up
dog.
black
He
shirt.
eats the hot
He
dog.
eats the hot dog.
That
He
when we
eats
all
the
looked
hot
at that
dog
shot, was
really
like, was that shot
aggressive
necessary?
way.
Like, it was funny.
Yes.
And then we watched a YouTube
Absolutely
poop where he eats the
was.
hot dog 10 times.
It's played in the context of like every time there's some danger going on, he's just ignoring it, eats hot dog.
It's great. He like he's doing great, but while he's doing great, he is also explicitly not really paying all that close of attention to the people around him, right? Him personally, he feels like things are going well because now he all of a sudden has all this time, and in a superficial way he feels like he's succeeding, right? But two key things there happen, and this is also where I say that I don't think that the whole him being cringe with MJ thing is necessarily unintentional. I don't think that scene, I don't think we're supposed to read that 100% as like to like be on his side 100%, right? Because there is definitely a reading of that says that like, well, yeah, outside he's doing better and he's turning himself around, but internally he's kind of shutting himself off and not really being the friend, boyfriend, nephew that he needs to be.
Yeah, because basically it reads as he definitely has time, but now is he emotionally there for everyone?
Yeah, he's checking out. He's abandoning his morals. He turns his back on his Ben apparition, and is also, you find out really quickly afterwards, completely unaware of the fact that Aunt May did in fact have to foreclose on the house at the end. She did have to. She did have to give up the house at the end of the day.
He also ignored some muggers too. Some guy getting beat up.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That's a turning point. That's an important turning point. And Lux, say the thing before I describe the turning point further.
Yeah. Literally, it was a completely... You could have solved this or helped the situation as Peter. You didn't need to turn your back. Yet, it was his conscious decision to do just that.
And yeah, and that becomes a turning point because he does it and he allows it to happen, and you can tell it unsettles him. Because right after that, the first thing he does is basically a little confessional with his aunt, in which he confesses to having done basically the same exact thing, not that like about 2 years ago, resulting in the death of Uncle Ben. He admits to May exactly what happened that night, and she leaves, goes upstairs without saying anything. Scene ends with him just alone downstairs. And that's the moment where you're like, okay, things were artificially doing really well, but he is now finally actually dealing with how fucked up his
Consequence.
personal life has been.
Mm.
And some of that was because, well, being Spider-Man's complicated, but a good amount of it was just because Peter's being kind of a dumbass here, and he had a lesson that he needed to learn. You know.
He's just fortunate that he also had people within that support system.
Oh, sorry, I interrupted.
I was
Continue.
going to say, who evidently are saints in their own way,
Oh.
except you, Harry.
Except you, Harry. Harry, you're a fucking billionaire. You couldn't give your friend's destitute aunt. You couldn't help her with her fucking mortgage. You absolute asshole.
You couldn't even provide a loan with low interest if the bank wasn't willing to do
for the
so.
house, you prick.
You coulda. Listen, the good thing would have been pay off the house. The jerk thing to do would be offer a low interest loan, but like, okay, that's not entirely bad. Still a jerk for enriching yourself. You chose the worst option of doing nothing.
I've already mentioned how Harry in these movies is kind of the worst. Like, he's just shit. He's just kind of shit.
Yeah. Also, quickly, yes.
I was gonna say Peter is a very one of the younger superheroes, so I feel like he is allowed a certain level of immaturity and dumbassery.
Yeah.
You know, he is allowed that. You can give some grace.
Yes. I think the only reason why I'm a little harsh on him for the whole MJ thing, even though there's definitely some intent behind
It's because
it.
he's still a college student.
Yeah, he's just no. Actually, I was just gonna say it's because this would be a case where it would be fixed if the writers thought to prioritize MJ's perspective even a little bit.
Yeah.
Where really the issue isn't so much that it doesn't stand up to scrutiny or that it doesn't make sense, so much as it is like, well, he's the only perspective on this that matters, so the audience is necessarily going to be biased towards him, and what's going on here is not made all that obvious to the teenage boys watching, because then they turned around with Invincible and took exactly the wrong lesson from that too, when that one was making it really obvious. So it's like this one could have done a little more in just simply making MJ more of her own person, and that continues to just be my main problem with these movies. MJ is just weak as a character, and it's frustrating because like comic book MJ is so infinitely better. They could have just made her more like that. They could have just made her more like how she's supposed to be. But instead, we're faced with what feels like a sexist, just superhero's girlfriend, like, archetype. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But coming back to it though, the turning point, the mugging, right? Goes to tell Aunt May what had happened that night, and that begins a period of introspection. He doesn't immediately turn around and I'm like, I'm gonna go back to just being Spider-Man, we're all good. It takes him a few steps after that, right? So like one of the big steps after that is like the main one is the fire, right?
Yeah.
Big fire building nearby, has no powers at this
Child.
point. There's a child in a lower floor, and without his powers, he just goes in there and just does it because he's Peter and he has this compulsion to just help people. You even get the sense with this whole thing with Ben that, right, the issue, and this is something that is really interesting to Peter's psychology, in my opinion, for like a long time, which is that like he is someone who is who, like, due to this trauma of losing Ben, and when he could have done something to prevent it, he now kind of feels that way always, all the time. Right? Like, he now just constantly feels like if something bad is happening and he is nearby, then either he stops it and does better, or it is his fault. Even if he did his best and just shit still goes wrong, and that is still his fault.
I think I remember even commenting on that, and then you said, like, look, you do realize that's, like, being portrayed as negative, right?
It is, within Spider-Man stories, whether that's portrayed as negative or positive, mileage may vary. Here, if anything, it's neutral, I'll say, until
I think it's
they
just
add another
treated as who he is
aspect of it.
as in his character.
It's who he is as a person. It's not always the healthiest thing to be, but it's not like a capital C criticism, or in the same way that, like, Daredevil's compunction for violence is. Right?
Oh, Daredevil.
Daredevil, how I love thee.
The fucking smile.
How I love you, Daredevil.
Fucking Batman ass.
Not the fucking Batman ass, not Ben Affleck.
No, not the...
This is a Charlie Cox household.
I didn't mean it like that. I meant his whole terror thing. Not...
The
I
Charlie Cox
forgot about... I forgot that was Ben Affleck.
You forgot he was Batman. You forgot he was Batman. It's a Charlie Cox household. Okay. Anyway, so Spider-Man, his whole compunction, his whole pathological need to help and put himself in danger and do whatever he can to help other people as a result of his own trauma. That's his thing. That is who he is as a person. That is why he is such a good hero, but it is also why his life oftentimes is in shambles, right? But this movie kind of like brings it all together, being like, well, you know, if you can be more honest with the people around you, maybe it doesn't have to be that way. If you can allow, you know, not only like allow other people to support you a bit more, but also be that support for others, then it does not have to be that way.
It's just being actively involved in a social support.
Being and that comes that comes to a head because right, the apartment's burned down. He finds out that one lady was left upstairs and that she died in there, and he goes back to his apartment. He's just literally sitting down staring at the wall. He feels utterly defeated, right? And then a moment happens that completely went past luck. I paused on it though because I was like, this is the most important moment in this movie. It's the most important moment in the movie.
It's the chocolate cake moment, isn't it?
The landlord's daughter asks him, just goes up, knocks on his door, and it just asks, it's like very awkward. She's an awkward teenager. She's kind of stumbling through it, and she just says like, do you want some chocolate cake? While he's like feeling his absolute shittiest, do you want some chocolate cake? And that's so important. That's like, it is such an important moment, and I can't believe that it was one that I did not like. I don't think I was the first one to point that out or to have that idea that moment was that much of a linchpin. I think I saw it from someone else's analysis. I do not remember whose.
For me, I thought the more linchpin moment was with Aunt May and Kid.
No. See, Aunt May and Kid are important, right? Because that's the beginning of it, right? But that brings him to a lower place emotionally at the end, right? They're important, but if that's what you think is the most important, then that takes that whole like idea of like, well, Peter has this psychological need to help people. That turns it into a negative almost because it makes him miserable. It destroys his life.
Yeah, because in that scene, it was like low-key, he's getting guilted into being Spider-Man instead of, I need to protect people like this, as I'm sure you're about to say.
Yeah, he's offered chocolate cake, and it becomes, it goes into like, and it's basically just that reminder of like, oh, this is why he does it. It's not just because he is low-key sick in the head a little bit. It's because people are important, and that he still can have, like, he's been beaten down. The whole first part of the movie is literally he's like on the ground with this college textbook spilled over. Everyone's walking over his head, hitting him in the head with those fucking bags. No one stops to help him. The usher locks him out of the play. He's having the worst like weeks of his life. He's having the worst life ever. And then this lady comes in to just offer him some chocolate cake and becomes a reminder that people can actually be kind and that he's not doing this for a cynical, horrible world. This isn't fucking Gotham. Like,
well, and also the world isn't full of just horrible people either. And he's like, a rarity in it.
This isn't Gotham. There's people there that are worth saving, and people are there to help him, and he can be honest with them. And that turns into an upswing. Right? Where that then turns into like, Aunt May having processed her emotions. He gave her the space. She comes back, talks to him, finds out that the house is foreclosed, sad about it, but they have an honest,
this too shall pass.
They have an honest, good conversation where she seems to maybe suspect that he's Spider-Man. And just kind of talks him through it and just says that like, hey, this too shall pass, basically. just that she kind of thinks that he was brave for admitting it, and she doesn't hold it against him, and of course she loves him, and then MJ actually
And then
does
crime
want,
is up
yeah,
75%.
huh.
Oh no, go on. Go with MJ. I'll bring up the thing
Oh god.
later.
Yeah, MJ does want to talk to him because yes, she's having second thoughts, and she does recognize that he's been trying to show up more, and like there's like a background plot where you get the feeling she's maybe feeling pressured into this marriage a bit, and it's going very fast as well. And
Again, it's kind of the safe option that she supposes she could go for.
yeah, he is rebuilding that support network that he lost, not just through his job, but through his own personal neglect as well. And he's realizing that and coming to terms with how he kind of got stuck in his own. It wasn't just that the world was beating him down, but it was that he was actively getting stuck in his own cynicism.
Mhm.
And he comes back around, and it becomes something that he can then extend to Doc Ock, and that like it's the one little thread of connection that they kind of have, right? Where it's like Peter needed to like metaphorically, I guess, stop listening to the voices in his head that were keeping him down.
Yeah,
and
to
Ock
pierce,
had to literally
the
do it.
psychosis.
Yeah.
We forgot to mention something that I found funny earlier is Doc Ock's first impression of Peter was, "Oh yeah, you're Doc Honors student. He told me you're lazy but smart."
ADHD.
So I just kind of found that funny.
Peter's not
And we
dodging the
just know.
ADHD allegations.
No.
Not at all.
Right?
Yeah.
But we have to think that Doc Ock's arms is like literally like imbued into his spine and really close to his head. So
Oh yeah, that was
that
straight up horror
probably
movie
messed
stuff.
up something.
That was straight up horror movie stuff.
Yeah.
We love that. We love Sam Raimi, horror director.
Oh, the scene! I forgot about how much of a horror movie that was.
Oh, yeah.
Literally, there was this shot where darkness fully behind a woman. She's on the floor. She gets pulled back, nails scraping against the floor, literally tearing it off.
Oh, the context for that, by the
And,
way,
like-
was that so Doc's arms got they got like fused into his back, right? And he got taken away by a surgical team that were trying to remove them. And before they can do that, while he's still sedated, the arms start fighting back. And yeah, it turns into a horror movie sequence as they start murdering all the doctors. It's great.
My
It's
note for
amazing.
that literally, yeah, my note for that literally says, "Oh yeah, Sam Raimi likes horror."
Yeah, he was a horror director first and foremost. It's
I haven't seen much horror, so I wouldn't know.
It's a great sequence. You probably wouldn't like his other horror stuff because it's
I'm sure he's good at it, but like it's just not my thing.
I don't know. She might like what was it, Multiverse of Madness? That's also Sam Raimi.
Well, you have she's required to watch that. That's not a
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I haven't
But we'll
seen
see
it
if she
yet.
likes it. Is the thing.
No, I mean I don't think that's it's not very good from what I hear. So I
I
don't.
mean,
I
I
don't
wasn't
know
good
if I'll
either.
for that. I was thinking more
About it.
as like classic like 80s like horror schlock stuff that he has. The splatter horror. The all the fun gore effects that he has in those. They're really creepy and they're really good and they're a lot of fun. But you also have to have a certain kind of taste to to like those for sure. But anyway, that's just our fun little Doc Ock aside, I suppose. But yeah, the results in the final little sequence there, right? MJ gets kidnapped again in a way that is once again kind of sexist. I mean, not just that she gets kidnapped, but also that then once she's kidnapped, she's tied to a pillar and then is wet for some reason, and there's like a sexy slit up her dress. Inexplicably, she's soaked, and there's a sexy slit up her dress.
I think we also kind of forgot to mention, while Peter's like genuinely rebuilding the connections in his life, Harry's just like standing in a tower, grimacing at the skyline, saying, "Oh, I'm gonna get that Spider-Man. Doc Ock, get that Spider-Man."
Another thing to also say is the fact that Aunt May can get a smack on Doc Ock, but she can't.
We're power scaling out May.
Oh yeah, no, Aunt May can, but
Like-
MJ tries and can't, and it's really hilarious. But also, yeah, honestly, I guess that could be considered I don't know, is a plot hole of sorts, saying that like, oh yeah, he's fixing shit with all the other people, but Harry's just going quietly insane in his house, and no one's looking in on him. But Harry's a dick, so who cares?
No one seems to actually care about Harry.
No
Not
one
even his
likes
butler.
Harry. No one likes Harry.
No.
Not his own
It kind of
dad.
goes back.
I don't even think he likes himself.
No, not at all.
Again, Harry.
I think
in
it goes
this
back
is
to
a
the
dick.
first movie where they didn't really instill in him a lot of characterization, focusing instead on Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, the first movie, like I said in that review, the first movie would have been where you do that, right? The first movie makes Harry less sympathetic in order to make his dad more sympathetic, because comic Harry's whole thing is that his dad was pretty awful to him, right? That like his dad was kind of a piece of shit to him, and that he was a kid that was burdened with a lot of like really horrible expectations, and that he kind of ends up becoming just like his father in a way that a lot of abused children can sometimes. And it's a tragedy, but it is one where Harry is explicitly the sympathetic one in that like whole equation, right? But like, because Willem Dafoe was Willem Dafoe, right? He's so charismatic. They wrote him. He stole the show, right? They wrote him to be like, and because he was, they weren't sure if they would get another one, and they had to write him as a bit nicer, a bit more sympathetic for the sake of like the story arc, basically, for the sake of that foil with him and Peter working. So right, they write him as more sympathetic, and they way downplay any element of him being kind of a prick to Harry, which results in Harry just coming across as just like a whiny, spoiled brat who's horrible to his girlfriend, and his dad coming across as a flawed but ultimately very human antagonist that you heavily sympathize with. And it's
Are they full psychopaths in the comics?
One of them might be.
No, Norman is pretty horrible. Norman is
Okay.
Norman is a horrible person in the comics. Like, again, he is basically abusive towards his son.
Full on monster.
He's abusive towards his son. He is like creepy and kind of obsessive towards Peter, who is a minor when he meets him. Reminder, directly use Peter in the comics a lot of the times to put Harry down, like almost seeming to favor him. He's awful. And like, if you want to see honestly that one done well, like really well, I would again recommend Spectacular Spider-Man, where he basically the whole arc with Spectacular Spider-Man, Norman and Harry, is basically just Norman gaslighting Harry slowly into a mental breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the peak of how Norman and Harry are supposed to be done, in my opinion. And like, that one can
Norman
still be,
the corruptive.
Yeah, right. Like, Norman works best as a very menacing villain, but again, it's the thing where it's like, I can't be mad at this version of Norman because he's kind of perfect, right? Spider-Man 1 Norman Osborn is kind of perfect. But it comes at the cost of Harry not being a character, and Harry being significantly worse and diminished, and just being in eventually incredibly ineffective as a Green Goblin too.
He just became crippled. Just like it cripples the character of what he could be.
Yeah. When you said that, I was taken off guard. I was like, what?
Sorry. Sorry.
Oh, no. I think Lily assumed the same thing as me, assuming like physical. I was like, right?
What? My bad.
Okay.
I'm gonna always be using the wrong terms, like at the most out of pocket.
Fine.
My bad.
No, we get you. We get you.
I am not the English major. No,
it wasn't being an English major. It was borderline.
I was good at math.
No. For a second, it was just like Quixby pulling up the casual slur. What?
No. No. I would never.
Okay. but yeah, it heavily diminishes the character. It has a knock-on effect to this movie. For sure. But, Peter's arc, again, you get the small moment with the cake, and then the bigger moment where he is trying to stop the, like, train from crashing, right? And then, like, all of New York holds him up like Jesus, basically. As he's
I'm
passed down the
sorry. That
train.
was
Spider
I laughed
Jesus.
at that scene
Spider
because it
Jesus.
looks so silly.
It is pretty silly.
It's a beautiful scene.
It's beautiful emotionally, thematically, everything, but also they hold him up like Jesus, and that's funny.
He's Jeebus.
It can be both.
Something else I do want to bring up is like, sure, he was Jeebus there. Got his mask from some kid. Like, don't worry, Spider-Man, we ain't gonna tell you or tell anyone
We
nothing.
ain't gonna tell nobody nothing.
Yeah, then Doc Ock comes by. He's like, "Hey, if you mess with them, you mess with all of us."
One of us, you mess with all of us.
Is that a line from
mob's
the
gonna protect
Amazing
him.
Spider-Man?
It's a line from movie 1.
But yeah, they literally just get shoved out of the way.
Yeah.
Found it
And
funny.
Spider-Man's like giving him the like, it's okay, I got this.
Yeah, the whole movie coalesces in him having learned his lesson, both internally and externally, that the world is not as bad of a place as he assumed, that he can continue being a hero, that he is burdened with a great responsibility, but it does not have to be a burden necessarily. It's not one that he carries alone. So
He may hold responsibility, but he's not holding it because it is a burden. It is because he must.
Big confrontation happens with Doc Ock. He helps kind of talk him into some amount of lucidity for a little bit there. And basically the movie ends with pretty much everyone important in his life, and also Harry finding out who he is.
Everyone knows. It's no longer a secret.
About that.
Yeah. Right. Implied that May knows. MJ finds out on the tower there, and he also gives her the "we can't be together because it's too dangerous" speech, which is so fucking funny because even though she's literally not even dating him, she gets kidnapped every 5 seconds. What's the difference?
So
allow her the privilege of fucking you about it at that point. She's gonna get kidnapped
and
anyway.
Plus, she rightfully also drops the fucking spoiling end of movie 2.
Yeah.
During the marriage, she's just like, all right, I outie. Doesn't even tend. Goes to Peter like, hey, dumbass, I can make decisions for my own. I'm making this decision.
Yeah. Although she does abandon John at the altar, which I think we did.
Altar, which is a horrible thing.
Move, but I understand the powerful image of it, of her running through the park with her wedding dress, all happy. I understand the image.
Yeah.
I understand the intent, even though it's like,
good scene. It's shitty for not just her
IRL, but
former
this
fiance.
This is a movie.
Yeah, we got movie logic here. It's fine.
There's some allowances for a movie. But yeah, it's and that
also
kind of ends there. Oh yeah, also Harry goes insane in his basement, and his dad starts talking. Of course.
Oh no, the other thing I was gonna point out that I also thought was funny was Peter was also just staring at his wall again for that scene. Like the other time, like, okay, he might be disassociating a little. Here he's just staring.
I'm pretty sure every Peter Parker has some kind of depression.
Yeah.
I'm like pretty certain every Peter Parker has depression.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Like it's rough, but like yeah, that's but yeah, that's basically the whole arc of the film. More or less, good and bad. This is definitely the best one we've watched so far, as just best at being able to just execute on a tight arc, and just filmmaking, just visuals, music, everything coming together perfectly. Danny Elfman does the music on this one. Yeah, I think you saw that.
Yeah.
Danny Elfman does the music.
I remember that.
Beautiful. It's wonderful. It is just excellent filmmaking at a time where superhero movies felt like they could be films, and yeah, they're it's good. It earns this place at the top of the list, but for a lot of people, this is their favorite superhero movie of all time. I would not go that far personally.
I wouldn't either.
I wouldn't
No.
go that far. I think there is, even to my memory, some better stuff coming up ahead. And honestly, even in my heart, I still prefer the ambition of X2 in some ways, even as I recognize this to be a tighter movie on its own. But yeah, it's
Yeah, and definitely overall, it was very much enjoyable.
mm-hmm. It is very good. It is very good. Maybe not quite the counterbalance to Hulk, because I feel like the interesting thing with Hulk
I
was that
know.
it was like one of the worst movies I'd ever seen. Like when compared to its budget, this one is not one of the best movies I've ever seen, but it was really good, and I did have a very good time in comparison. But yeah, I know a lot of young men, especially, who like this movie hit them at just the right age, and therefore this is like one of their favorite movies.
That's
of all
true.
time.
We have to think about there's probably a good group of people who literally grew up on Marvel, so like a lot of these movies are more impactful.
You don't have to say a good amount of people. I'm pretty sure Frog, who was in our group chat when we watched it, openly admitted to this being one of his favorite movies. We know these people.
Well, I'm just saying, for me, I'm a late Marvel fan, even though technically I was, could have grown up with it. I didn't.
Now, for me, the queer messaging of X-Men resonated more for some reason, but
I wonder why.
But Spider-Man 2 was still a goodie back in the day, and I recognize that. Spider-Man was like one of the first superhero comics that I ever read, so just based off of that alone, this one was always gonna be high on my list for sure. But
yeah, and I think this is a good confident top of the list.
Yeah, good confident top of the list for now. Now, is that I think that takes us through pretty much everything outside of maybe a few funny jokes to discuss here and there, like the name drop of Doctor Strange and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
just some funny things.
Or when Spider-Man steals the suit and he's like, "I hate that man."
Oh yeah, every scene with J.K. Simmons is beautiful.
It's beautiful.
He's
beautiful, gorgeous,
great.
wonderful. He's a lovely human being, and he's so fun to watch.
You're fired. Wait, you're on fire.
He has this way talking. He talks so quickly, but like with such like a pithiness.
So
he's so fast. He's such a fast talker, but also so articulate in a way that is so entertaining to watch.
And it just adds to the character working in the press.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly why he's
the perfect distillation of that kind of character.
Yeah.
And so like he just continues to be so much. I understand why he's the default, like basically for this character, and probably will be until he dies. In the same way that like Logan and Jake and like fucking Hugh Jackman
and freaking Loki,
Jackson,
Tom Hiddleston with Loki too.
I don't think Tom Hiddleston's quite. I don't know. I disagree.
I don't think anyone else could play him.
But like he is not.
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, no. Call me back when Loki manages to play when Tom Hiddleston manages to play Loki across several different franchises with like under several different studios. Call me when he does that. Like I understand he's your favorite little guy, but both Hugh Jackman and J.K. Simmons have played their specific characters under several different studios.
Well, I wouldn't know that.
Well, now you do. Well, now you do.
And not only that, but they've also like.
I just thought you meant like character in terms of like
embodying like that.
Embodying the character.
There are several Marvel actors that I would say embody their characters really effectively. RDJ,
like Iron Man.
RDJ with Iron Man is one, but there's a difference between that and literally being the person who redefined how that character was. Like who that character was for a lot of people. RDJ is
where even in the comics it reflects them more than the previous iteration.
Yeah. So what you have Hugh Jackman, you have J.K. Simmons, you have oh my god, why am I blanking on Nick Fury, his actor? Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson?
Samuel L. Jackson.
Where they change like the direction of the comics.
Redefines exactly how the comics go. Tom Hiddleston to a lesser extent, yes, because Tom Hiddleston did bring about a shift in Loki's general public perception for sure, and that he made him hot. But That is,
we definitely will see if it sticks in times to come. Something else that I've heard is attempted, I think this is mostly by corporate side, not fan side, is Pedro Pascal as Reed, but I personally don't think that's gonna stick as heavy.
No, I think what Pedro Pascal did for Reed is that he reminded people that Reed could be charismatic and like likable.
Honestly, I was going to use the term more gentle, but that works too.
Yeah. Reed is in like a Scott Summers situation where basically he's a little autistic man that people that bad writers confused for being basically a sociopath, and so they write him to be a horrible person, even though that's just really not who he is. And therefore there's like decades
the Maker.
Yeah, therefore there's like decades of character assassination to dig through, and Pedro Pascal fights back by just being charming, but also kind of getting across the autism pretty well. But yeah, I'm waiting for those characters to get their redefining casting already. It hasn't fucking happened yet. God damn it. Scott's been played by like 3 different fucking actors, and none of them have managed it.
He'll get his time one day.
Fuck.
You know, why don't you play him? You got this.
Ansel Elgort should have been the one. Should have been the one. But no. Then the movies had to be shit. The movies had to be shit. Okay. We're getting like way ahead of ourselves. We that's for future discussions. Next week we're watching Blade Trinity.
You said that's the bad one too, right?
Oh, it's very bad. It's like quite it's
Lily, can I get out of this?
No.
No. Hey guys, help! I'm being threatened.
No.
Send help! I live at 123 Address Lane.
You were gone for the last bad movie. You're gonna be here for this one. You understand? So we're watching Blade Trinity, which is kind of famously bad. Also as far as characters that like kind of redefine, I don't know how much Wesley Snipes actually had to do with redefining Blade, so much as his stylist did. Though I've heard though the tattoos that are now Blade's tattoos were originally just his, so that's a choice I guess. But nothing about his acting really did it, you know. Like, I don't know. Blade is a funny little blip of a trilogy, and it's gonna finally be over with us.
Yeah.
Let me literally look at our list right now, the sacred list. Link below, Google Drive link below. Yeah, so we got Spider-Man 2, and then we have Blade Trinity, and then we have Elektra. And then we have Fantastic Four, and then we have the X-Men The Last Stand, and then Spider-Man 3, and then Fantastic Four. Wow, we have a lot of shit, huh?
I can't wait for Spider-Man 3. That's gonna be like the breath of fresh air. Is that why Spider-Man 3 has been more positively received than it probably deserves? Just because of everything else.
I mean, this is kind of just a dark period in superhero movies is the issue.
It's reminding me why some of the Marvel Studio stuff was such a breath.
People find Spider-Man 3 to be really funny. I will say I'm being a little hard on the Fantastic Four movies too. Those ones aren't horrible. X-Men Last Stand, however, is a piece of shit, and I'll have so much to say about it. I'll have so many layered things to say about why it's horrible, why it's awful.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah. It's yeah, we got some shit, and then pretty much like we're gonna be in the MCU era way sooner than you'd believe, probably. By July we'll be in the thick of it, pretty much.
Oh, okay, that's very quick, actually.
Yeah, we're gonna be going head first into it, and then we're gonna pretty much be blitzing through phase 1 within like a couple months, because remember there weren't that many movies in between, like, right? So it's like Iron Man, Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America, and then it's Avengers. Yeah. Then we're just there.
Okay.
Then we're just there with Avengers. And then it's phase 2 time.
Yay.
Yeah, so
I'm excited to keep seeing the full story.
Yeah, and intercut between, of course, will be our X-Men's and then some other Spider-Man movies. Fan-Four-Stick eventually. Right, you'll have there. It's interesting as it goes on, right? Because like you have like at first just all these different studios doing all these different like separate things, and then it's like
kind of gets
MCU comes
unified.
around, it starts to unify, but there's still a lot of other studios doing a lot of different things, right?
Sony.
I like that I made this spreadsheet, honestly, because you can really actually see when 616 just kind of starts to take over. Because right, it starts off being like half and like it starts off like all a hodgepodge, and then 616 is introduced, and it's like half, right? Like there's maybe like 2 616 movies for like every like Sony and then Fox movie, right? So it's alternating.
Yeah.
And then slowly as you go on and 616 starts to just explode, it becomes just that, basically. Just 616, just whole just years where it's just 616 stuff.
Yeah, that's like post
Yeah. That
Avengers, I think, is when that started to happen,
not
right?
really. No.
Oh.
Not really, no. Because while Avengers was happening, the X-Men stuff was going was going really strong for a while. Even though the movies were really hit or miss, it was going strong as far as box office goes. Really that starts happening once you hit like I'll say the Fox and Sony really starts to fall off around Civil War. Around like Civil War.
Oh, okay.
With like and like that's where you get Deadpool, and that's where you can really tell that Fox was starting to lose some steam, though Deadpool is of course really really interesting. It's a really interesting case study and a very good movie. Then beyond that, you get some Netflix shows mixed in there, an occasional Fox thing, but pretty much dies after a while, and then it's just 616. And yeah, and then now Sony is, Sony has a bit of their comeback with Venom, of course, but how long Sony's going to keep this up at this point is unsure. It's uncertain, because it basically I think we're getting to the point where the whole shared custody situation of Spider-Man currently is really up in the air. How aware are you of the shared custody situation right now?
I remember that was like a big thing about doing No Way Home, but not really much more beyond that.
This is Spider-Man, so I'll consider this relevant to this one. Okay, so Spider-Man. Okay, right. So these 3 Spider-Man movies happen, right? The Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, right?
Yes.
And then they end with the third one being basically laughed out of the room, was not very well received. And it was basically just like ending the whole trilogy on kind of a downturn that pretty much guaranteed that this was not coming back, really. Then the MCU happens, and it does really well, right? And so they decide to do another Spider-Man. This is the Amazing Spider-Man that happens in 2012. Now at that time it was pretty unprecedented, the idea to do another Spider-Man movie so soon after the last one had happened, and that's a gap of about 8 years, right? That was considered kind of and that's the one with Andrew Garfield, right? They do that one, and the reception to that one is really mixed, right? A lot of people saying it's too dark, it's too like it's not enough like the previous one. Some people like it. The second one is pretty horrible.
Very mixed in reception.
Yeah, the second one's quite bad, and that one kind of tanks that one, right? And those happen within 2 years of each other. And then that leads to a bit of a quiet period, more or less, for a few years, until then Civil War comes about, right? And Disney, who at this point, right, they're doing good with they're doing really good with their MCU movies, right? Like, these things are doing gangbusters. They're the most popular things ever. The merchandising is insane. The box office is insane. They're loving this. They're having a great time, right? And they see Sony, who's struggling, and they basically say, hey, can we, like, buy Spider-Man, please? Please, right? So the interesting thing too is that way back in the day, Sony was actually offered all the rights to all of them. They rejected all of them, but Spider-Man, seeing him as the only money
People
maker.
only want Spider-Man.
Yeah, and they bought him for a pretty paltry amount. But with Disney here now asking them, they see dollar signs in their eyes, even though they by themselves have not managed it. They see dollar signs in their eyes, and so they basically create after that a shared custody agreement for 2 solo movies and this one
joint
tie-in with Civil War, right? So he has this cameo in Civil War, and he gets 2 solo movies after that, Homecoming and Far From Home, and those do really well. And then No Way Home is basically made after that as the next step in the custody agreement, more or less. But at that point, with everything going as well as they did with like Endgame and everything, Sony was being even more aggressive with it. And it was getting to the point where basically Tom Holland had to come in and like beg them to actually negotiate with each other.
Get adopted.
And it results in No Way Home, the big mega crossover movie with all the Sony characters in there, that basically is basically like a back door for any future shared custody in a lot of ways, right? Because it ends with everyone's memories being like, all the MCU guys have their memories wiped of Peter, more or less, and there's all the freedom in the world to just continue on with original characters and to divorce it as much from MCU stuff as possible if they want, or to go back to it, right? So
yeah,
you have
basically leaving it open for whatever decision companies
whether they
do.
decide to actually divorce or like just actually sell the rights or continue to. Well, I don't think they're ever going to sell the rights, is the thing, because Sony is
too much money on the line.
So Sony is too invested in holding on to this. And so I think it's legitimately like, I don't think they're dropping it unless Disney buys them. I don't think Disney's in a position to do so right now, and I kind of don't think that's a good idea, honestly. I think probably the best scenario is that eventually Sony just decides to sell them Spider-Man, because Spider-Man is like the most important Marvel character and Disney is the one doing the MCU the best way. So like, yeah, to that it's, you know, I'm like heavily quoting CJ the X as far as a lot of this goes. I watched their video on No Way Home relatively recently, so that's where a lot of my memories are coming from right now. If I get details wrong, blame them. So that's basically No Way Home, and that's the whole messy custody agreement right now, where things are still up in the air. As far as Brand New Day goes, from what I see, it is pretty firmly MCU. So it seems like custody agreement continues to work right now, but still no sign that Sony would ever give up Spider-Man currently, or that they're interested in doing
Probably
so.
not.
And I think it's one
especially
of those
because Spider-Man games are also very popular, which could be another reason why.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like, while for the sake of MCU, I would honestly prefer him if they did sell it. I understand why, literally just from a business perspective, that's a horrible fucking idea. Because obviously they make more money by taking a cut from the movies than they do by selling him one time.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. I'm going to be entirely honest when I say this, and it might be a bit of an unpopular decision. Even though I think they would make better movies or Marvel would make better Spider-Man movies, I kind of want Sony to still hold on to it.
I mean, I don't know.
I'd rather just not. I just don't want Disney to own more. I just don't want Disney to own more too.
That is the thing.
Like, let's be honest.
It's a mix of that, generally liking variety of things, and in a very macabre way, I kind of like seeing their desperate attempts at making something stick.
It's inherently really
kind
funny.
of is. Really like, they're throwing shit at the wall. Craven, Morbius, Venom stuck. Let's get another Venom.
Honestly, the main thing with me is just that, like, I wish that the Spider-Man movies post the Tobey Maguire movies were more of a mixed bag, and that they weren't all just shit to kind of mid. That's the thing. If it weren't for the fact that they're all just kind of bad, I feel like I would be more Venom notwithstanding. Venom is a gay masterpiece. Venom, like, I wish that they were I wish that, like, I wish that I at least had as much of attachment to it as I did to the Fox stuff, right? Because I think Fox actually does do legitimately interesting things, and they do have a lot of winners in there that can, like, hang with the best of them. So right, because now Fox did get bought out by Disney, and so Disney is going to be handling X-Men from here on out, and I'm not actually all that excited for that in a lot of ways. I'm like, I kind of feel like we lost something here by doing that, and there's also just in the story no real way to integrate it, like. I mean, I presumably they're gonna just do another Elseworld thing like they did with Fantastic Four, and then like merge it through interdimensional stuff. That's my assumption. But there's still like, I'm not all that excited about this because I'm like, well, if Disney had him from the first place, they never would have made Logan or Deadpool or Days of Future Past or all this other really interesting stuff that they've done, honestly, in the last couple years. And that's sad. But what the fuck has Sony been doing in the past couple years that's anything good? Aside from Spider-Verse, fuck. Aside from Spider-Verse, fuck!
I mean, Spider-Verse does
I'm glad you thought of that, because I was about to say Morbius.
Fucking Morbius. Morbius can die by my goddamn... The meme wasn't worth it. The meme wasn't worth it. The movie's shit. Yeah.
Oh, no, absolutely. I've never seen it, nor do I have any inclination to see it.
If Sony had a higher batting average... then that'd be one thing. But also this is also though your friendly reminder that, like, you know, of course studios don't make movies, people make movies. Spider-Verse is not good because Sony. Spider-Verse is good because the directors knew what the fuck they were doing. Like,
it's just Disney has the money to poach good directors.
Yes. No, what, Disney didn't do that one. We don't have to.
No, I'm saying just as a general thing, which is
Yeah, but again,
Disney has enough money to throw it to basically be able to burn enough to throw it at the problem and fix problems if they arise.
I'm not confident that we would have gotten Spider-Verse under Disney. I'm not.
I mean, if Disney didn't even give us anything similar to The Last Wish,
no,
I doubt they're gonna make anything similar.
No. I just wish Sony had a higher batting average. I just literally wish Sony had a higher batting average, and that 2004 wasn't like the last time I thought they did something decent.
I mean, at least Sony is at least willing to deal with like different stylistic choices, though.
Huh? Logan has nothing to do with Sony.
Wait, who owns Logan?
Fox.
Oh, that was Fox. Oh, okay.
X-Men, Fox.
Which Disney owns.
X-Men, Fox, Spider-Man, Sony.
Yeah, I watched Deadpool and Wolverine. I should have remembered that.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's again, Fox has the X and Sony S for Spider-Man. It's like there you go. There you go.
I like how things just work out.
Yeah. Things just work out. Quickly, I feel like we completely steamrolled past what you were saying. What'd you say?
Oh, I said at least Sony's willing to like indulge different stylistic, artistic choices, though.
Yeah, because they're throwing everything at the wall. They don't have a plan or an idea of what's happening. So they just try
They're
shit out.
They're just trying to find something to stick.
They just try shit out, and I kind of respect it. You know,
I respect that.
The experimentalism.
Disney's Marvel stuff is so safe sometimes. It's irritating. It's genuinely irritating. It's like it's why
gotta make sure those shareholders are happy.
Yeah, it's like.
And the same mentality is in gaming too. It's bad.
a thing you'll hear a lot from me once we start really getting into the MCU 616 stuff is that, like, while a lot of it is like good to decent, and while I do like just being able to bank on having a pretty decent, like at least C plus superhero movie at any given time, whenever whenever new one's coming out, I know whenever it comes out it's not gonna be bad most of the time. There's like a few in there, but like they're also like painfully dull. They're also painfully dull. Like, they're not interesting. Like, none of them are, like, hardly any of them are doing anything interesting stylistically. Like, there's like a few. There's a handful. But there are, for every one of those, there's another one where it's like you hear a story about how the director was like actively suppressed in doing something more interesting. So it's always just like, I don't know.
Frustrating.
This is why we made this. This is why we made this show, right? So because we wanted to dig into this fully, dig into the history, understand where this was coming from, and get full context for both what we gained and what we lost over time.
Yeah, definitely gonna be a bit of a wild ride, ain't it?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. This is also why we'll probably have this talk more than once as we're going forward, because it's one that we will need to center. This is a long. This is also why I had you watch all these extra ones. This is a long history that is best taken in context. A long, slow history, best taken in context.
True. I mean, heck, I still remember back to the days of Fantastic Four, not Fanforstic.
Fantastic Four, the Jessica Alba one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I remember seeing that. I didn't get it. I thought some bits were neat. I didn't get it, but like, we'll definitely see evolutions.
Yeah, and all Chris Evans. But that's gonna be funny.
Hey,
Oh,
good
see
old
our
Johnny,
guy,
right?
Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny.
Him and Peter were roommates.
Only roommates, yes.
Yeah. So that's gotta be one of my favorite, not really crack ships, but it's a lesser known ship that I quite like.
And they actually were roommates.
Yeah. Everyone's thirsty for Spidey Pool, and I get it. Deadpool wants him carnally, but like.
I think a better question is who does he not want?
I'd say he has standards, but I don't think he does.
No. Fuck.
It's freaking Deadpool.
No. And his type is so funny, right? Because like he has two types, right? Like bears that could break him over his knee, or mouthy little twinks. Yeah.
Yeah, I see it. I was trying to think of other examples of characters. I was just like, I'm drawing blanks.
The bears that break over his knee, right? EZ3, Wolverine, Cable, and Colossus, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't he also like had a relationship with Rogue too?
Doesn't he also has a crush on Thor, I think.
Does he?
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah. But yeah, then also mouthy little twink in the form of Peter, who he's just kind of obsessed. Yeah, Peter and Daredevil are the mouthy little twinks.
I didn't even know Daredevil was considered mouthy.
Peter and Daredevil can be. Matt for sure. Matt for sure. Right. Like I think he just wants
the lawyer.
He just wants someone who could destroy him, if not physically, verbally.
Yeah, no, that definitely tracks for what I know of him.
That also explains his in movie girlfriend. Let's be real. He has types. He has types, and Peter does fall within one of those.
To be fair to Deadpool, I kind of get it.
That Deadpool's so real. Deadpool's so real for all that shit.
Yeah. Wait, I meant Deadpool.
Yeah. Deadpool's so real for all that shit.
I want a woman who could just kick my ass.
Or a man for him too. Or a man that can just kick his
ass.
I'm
talking about for me, but
yeah. I mean, we all remember the him and Logan's car scene. We all remember it. We all love it. I'll mention it once a stream if I have the chance. It's great.
Don't worry, we will have words
Legendary.
once we get. Actually, we probably won't have too many words. We'll have like 2 sentences of they bang. Yep. Hell yeah.
They bang. Yup. Yup. Gotta say, out of all the superheroes that the Deadpool wants carnally, I didn't think that Logan would be the one he'd make it with first. But I should have known. I said Logan is the communal top. We've discussed this. I should have known. I should have known. Should have known.
Oh my gosh.
Should have known that he'd crack him first.
Or more accurately,
Cable
get cracked.
Cable wasn't gonna do it.
I mean, he did it in a time, probably. Just not our time.
Cable's a fucking Summers. He wasn't gonna do it. Not without heavy encouragement. And harassment. Let's be real.
Mostly harassment.
Yeah. I'm gonna update our schedule and just gonna, moving up everything a slot as I do. And yeah, I think we're done for the day. I would like to well, I'd love to sit down and watch a shit ton of Spectacular Spider-Man with you guys today. I think they'll have to be saved for another time. Yeah. I don't have any homework for this week for you with Blade Trinity. Wait, no, yes,
the
I
homework
do.
is
Wait, no, yes, I
look
do.
at
I
a
lied.
blade.
No, listen, no, yes, I
Oh,
do. I lied.
okay.
I
Damn.
have
Okay.
just honestly just a fun YouTube retrospective on the 3 Blade movies to kind of jog your memory. It's by Cosmonaut Cosmonaut Picture Show. Cosmonaut Variety Hour. He has a great video on all 3 of them. It's a great one to watch for when we're done watching Trinity, to just jog your memory and have a laugh or two at some stuff that he's going to point out to you. Nothing too deep.
Okay.
Nothing too deep. I might give you some actual Spider-Man stuff to watch for Spider-Man 3, since that one covers the Venom saga, but kind of does so badly. So I'm considering showing you the Venom saga in the 90s animated show, but I'm kind of like, maybe Spectacular instead. That one does it really well too, and might be good to give you some variety.
Is also just good.
It is just good, giving you some variety by showing you the Spectacular Spider-Man version. Might be good. It does honestly, it's kind of conflicting because as much as we made fun of the 90s show, the 90s show basically is a lot of the like your mental image of how the Black Suit Spider-Man arc goes and how the Venom saga goes is because of the 90s show. The comic version was very different. Very different.
Okay.
And Spider-Man 3 more or less adapts the 90s show more so than it does the comics. No, not more or less. It does. It is an adaptation of the cartoon, not the comics. So for that reason, that cartoon is a good one to check out. But I just love the way Spectacular does it so much, and I want an excuse to show you that show. So
whatever happens shall happen.
Whatever happens shall happen, but that's like a ways off. I just want you to look forward to something fun in the future while we're gonna wade through some shit.
Yay.
Okay. So let's wrap up. What about an hour 50? Let's finish up here.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Well then, lurkers, chatters, here for a little, here for a while. I thank you all the same. This is Luck, powering off. And remember, everyone, lucky days.
And 3, 2, 1.
Good night.
Night.